Welcome to Mindblow, the ultimate destination for jaw-dropping content that will surprise, inspire, and entertain you every step of the way. If you love discovering the unexpected, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and share with your friends to keep the excitement going. Your support helps us keep blowing minds and creating content you'll never forget. So buckle up and get ready, because this is just the beginning. A ship is more than just steel and engines, it's a living chronicle, carrying the hopes, fears, and dreams of those who serve aboard her. It's a vessel of memory, a floating archive of stories both triumphant and tragic, echoing with the footsteps of countless sailors. A silent witness to history, it drifts through time, bearing silent testimony to the tides of war and peace. For nearly 8 decades, one such ship sailed the world's oceans, refusing to fade into obscurity, its presence a constant reminder of the past. Born in the fires of World War II, it hunted submarines in the Atlantic, later serving under the flag of a former enemy, and finally, finding its true home in the Philippines. Each chapter of its life marked by transformation and survival. This is the story of the BRP Rajah Humabon, a ship that became the soul of a nation's navy, embodying the spirit and resilience of the Filipino people. Its silhouette was a living relic, a reminder of great naval battles and global conflict, standing tall against the horizon as a symbol of endurance. Long after its piers were scrapped, it patrolled coastlines, trained generations of sailors, and stood as a symbol of resilience. It became a floating classroom, shaping the future of the Navy. The Rajah Humabon's journey mirrors the sweep of history, world war, shifting alliances, and a young nation's quest for security. Its decks have felt the weight of history and the promise of tomorrow. From American shipyards to Japanese naval bases and finally to Philippine waters, each chapter added to its legend, weaving together the destinies of 3 nations. It bridged empires, conflicts, and became a powerful emblem of Filipino pride, uniting generations under a single banner. As we trace its journey, we uncover the evolution of naval warfare and the men who kept its heart beating, their dedication echoing through the ship's steel corridors. The USS Atherton, as it was first known, was a product of its time, but its spirit proved timeless, adapting to new roles and new generations. Long after its guns fell silent, the legacy of the BRP Rajah Humabon continues to inspire a new generation of sailors, reminding us that history lives on, not just in museums, but in the hearts of those who serve. The story begins in 1943, a year marked by uncertainty and global conflict, as nations around the world were locked in a struggle that would shape the course of history. With the world at war, every continent felt the impact, and the oceans became battlegrounds where the fate of nations was decided. The Atlantic in particular was under siege by German U-boats which prowled the waters relentlessly, threatening vital supply lines and endangering countless lives. In response, the United States launched a massive shipbuilding program producing the Cannon-class destroyer escort, vessels that were small, nimble, and specifically engineered to hunt submarines and protect convoys. On August 27, 1943, the USS Atherton, DE-169, was launched from a bustling New Jersey shipyard, named in honor of a brave naval officer who had given his life in service to his country. Armed with 3-inch guns, anti-aircraft cannons, and powerful depth charges, the Atherton was designed for the grim and dangerous work of convoy escort, standing as a shield between merchant ships and lurking enemy submarines. Its young and determined crew braved rough seas and constant danger, always alert for the telltale ping of sonar that could signal an enemy below the waves, knowing that every patrol could be their last. The Atherton's most famous moment came in May 1945, just before VE Day, when it joined forces with the USS Moberly to hunt down and destroy the German U-853 off the coast of Rhode Island, a dramatic and decisive action. Debris and oil slicks on the water confirmed the kill, one of the very last naval actions in the Atlantic theater, marking the end of a deadly chapter in naval warfare. The Atherton had fulfilled its purpose, helping to secure victory at sea and earning its place in history as a guardian of the Atlantic. With the war's end, the future of the Atherton was uncertain as peace brought new challenges, and many ships faced decommissioning. But the story of this remarkable vessel was far from over. The ship's next chapter would take it on a long voyage across the Pacific, into the hands of a former foe, where it would serve a new purpose in a changing world. The legacy of the Atherton was just beginning, destined to span oceans and generations, a testament to resilience and transformation. After World War II, the USS Atherton was decommissioned and left in reserve, its fate uncertain. As the Cold War dawned, the United States sought new alliances and Japan was encouraged to rebuild its self-defense forces. In 1955, Atherton was transferred to Japan, reborn as JDS Hatsuhi, first son of the year. The transfer was deeply symbolic. A ship built to fight the Axis now served a former enemy, forging a new alliance. Japanese sailors, many once adversaries, trained on American-built ships, learning new doctrines and technologies. For 2 decades, Hatsui patrolled Japanese waters, helping to lay the foundation for the modern JMSDF. The ship's quiet service was a bridge between its wartime past and a new era of peace. In 1975, its mission in Japan complete, the ship was returned to the United States, awaiting its next calling. The vessel had already lived 2 lives, one as a hunter, another as a guardian. But its most iconic chapter was yet to come. The next flag it would fly would make it a legend in Southeast Asia. The journey was far from over. The 1970s brought new challenges to Southeast Asia, as regional tensions and maritime disputes began to intensify. The Philippines, with its thousands of islands and vast territorial waters, urgently needed capable patrol ships to secure its maritime borders and protect its sovereignty. As the JDS Hatsui was returned to U.S. custody, the Philippines recognized a unique opportunity to strengthen its navy. The transfer of such ships was not just about hardware, it was about building a stronger, more resilient maritime force for the future. In 1976, the ship was transferred and briefly served as BRP Datu Kalantiao. However, tragedy struck when a powerful typhoon claimed the vessel, reminding the nation of the unforgiving nature of the sea and the risks faced by those who serve. Undeterred by this loss, the Philippine Navy pressed on. They acquired the former USS Atherton, investing time and effort into refurbishing and modernizing her. In 1980, she was proudly commissioned as BRP Rajah Humabon, a symbol of renewal and hope. Named for Rajah Humabon, the first Filipino chieftain to embrace Christianity, the ship became a living bridge between the country's ancient heritage and its aspirations for a modern, capable navy. The arrival of the Rajah Humabon was a turning point for the Navy. She became its flagship, the most advanced and capable vessel in the fleet, inspiring pride and confidence among sailors and citizens alike. With impressive endurance and range, the Rajah Humabon was perfectly suited for long patrols in contested waters, especially in the strategically vital South China Sea, where her presence was both a deterrent and a reassurance. The ship's commissioning marked not just the start of a new chapter, but the beginning of a legendary career in Philippine service, setting new standards for dedication and resilience. Despite her age, the Rajah Humabon stood tall as a symbol of national pride, resilience, and the enduring spirit of the Filipino people. The old warrior had finally found her home, ready to defend the nation's territorial waters and stand guard over its future. Over the years, the Rajah Humabon would become the most iconic vessel in the Philippine Navy's modern history, a familiar sight in ports and at sea. Her story became inseparable from the story of the nation itself, woven into the fabric of Philippine naval history and national identity. The legend of the Rajah Humabon was just beginning, destined to inspire generations of sailors and citizens for years to come. As flagship, the BRP Rajah Humabon became the face of Philippine maritime sovereignty. For decades, it patrolled territorial waters, conducted sovereignty patrols in disputed areas, and served as a floating deterrent. The ship was a multi-purpose platform, rescuing mariners, delivering disaster relief, and enforcing maritime law. Life aboard was unique, a floating museum and schoolhouse for generations of sailors. Maintaining its vintage machinery demanded ingenuity and pride from its crew. The Humabon stood as a symbol of Filipino resilience, outmatched but never outspirited. It embodied the make-do spirit of the Philippine Armed Forces, accomplishing missions with limited resources. The ship's continued service was a testament to the professionalism and dedication of its crews. The grand old lady sailed on, long after others had faded away. Its legacy grew with every passing year. By the 21st century, the BRP Rajah Humabon was a living anachronism, one of the last WWII-era destroyer escorts still in service. While other navies fielded modern warships, the Humabon patrolled with vintage guns, highlighting the Philippine Navy's struggle to modernize. Yet, it remained a vital presence in the tense South China Sea, asserting sovereignty against larger, more advanced foreign vessels. The ship became a symbol of national pride and defiance, its image inspiring patriotism across the country. The Humabon's extended service underscored the urgent need for modernization, becoming the poster child for naval renewal. Its final watch helped build the political will to fund a new generation of ships. The old ship's endurance was a catalyst for change. Even as it aged, it inspired a new vision for the Navy's future. The spirit of the Humabon would shape the fleet for years to come. All journeys end, even for a ship as storied as the BRP Rajah Humabon. After 74 years of service to 3 nations, the time came to lower its flag for the last time. On March 15, 2018, the ship was decommissioned in a solemn ceremony, surrounded by generations of sailors. But this was not the scrapyard's call. The Humabon was preserved as a museum ship, a monument to its incredible journey. Its decks would now educate and inspire, telling the story of endurance and dedication. The ship's legacy is one of survival, through World War, Cold War, and decades of patrols. Its longevity is a tribute to the thousands who kept it sailing. For the Philippines, it became a symbol of unwavering commitment to sovereignty and national pride. The story of the Humabon is woven into the fabric of Filipino identity. Its spirit will inspire the Philippine Navy for generations. The retirement of the BRP Rajah Humabon marked the end of an era and highlighted the challenges facing the Philippine Navy. The threats of the 21st century, territorial disputes, piracy, and transnational crime, demanded more than vintage guns and sonar. The Navy needed modern ships, sensors, and weapons to operate in a networked, information-driven environment. Modernization required significant investment and new skills, from advanced combat systems to upgraded shore facilities. The West Philippine Sea remains the most pressing concern, requiring a credible deterrent and effective patrols. The goal is not overwhelming force but the ability to impose costs on aggressors and defend national interests. Building a modern navy means developing both hardware and human capital. The journey to a sustainable, capable fleet had only just begun. The spirit of the BRP Rajah Humabon lives on in the Philippine Navy's ambitious modernization program. The Armed Forces Modernization Program is transforming the fleet, with new guided missile frigates like the BRP Jose Rizal and BRP Antonio Luna already in service. These ships represent a quantum leap in capability, providing credible deterrence and regional security. Horizon 3 envisions more frigates, corvettes, and for the first time, submarines, ushering in a new era of layered defense. The journey from the USS Atherton to modern missile frigates is a story of resilience and adaptation. The Humabon served as the bridge between old and new, holding the line until the next generation was ready. As new ships sail, they carry the enduring legacy of the old warrior, a ghost ship whose spirit now guards the future. The watch continues, and the story lives on.